The following podcast has been rated Listener MA. It contains strong language, violence, adult situations, nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Sportscast. I'm your host. My name is Scotty Gurman. Alongside me, as usual, I have two excellent stand-up comedians. First, to my left, the 1984 Kingman County T-Ball Defensive Player of the Year award winner, Mr. Jeremy Joseph.
Eat shit, Scotty.
Eat shit and die, Jeremy. And then also the very, very disappointed Chicago Bears fan, we like to call him the Wreck, Mr. Derek Alders.
You're a disgrace to your family, Scotty.
Yeah, but
You sure
everybody
are,
knows that
Scotty.
already.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up?
Derek and I
Yeah?
just spent a little time at local new establishment, Dave & Buster's.
I don't know if that's very local.
It was here.
New locally.
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
Fair
We
enough.
actually ran into some fans of this podcast. Can you guess? They gave us some constructive criticism. Can you guess what their second biggest complaint about the show was?
Probably me.
No, that was one.
Oh, that was number one?
was overwhelming.
Yeah.
One. But
What?
take a guess. Take a guess.
I don't know.
Okay. They said our kazoos weren't big enough. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? Lucky
Now
day.
they are.
Look at the size of these fucking
Yeah.
kazoos.
Jesus
Dwarfs the
Christ.
other one.
Oh, my God.
These are major awards. We
Oh,
won these
Lord.
with tickets.
You guess how many tickets these were?
How many?
1 million tickets.
You're
Luckily,
so full of it.
I am a stud at skee ball. Jeremy, quite a hoop shooter.
I am. And
So.
pretty shrewd negotiators.
Oh,
Honestly.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked him down from 1 million down to 200 tickets.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we had the 1 million, which is enough for 10 PlayStation 4s there.
Oh,
100,000 tickets to get a PlayStation 4. Do you know how much easier it would be just to go buy a PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
It'd be even easier to steal one.
Fuck yeah, it would. Scotty, go in the other room.
No.
All right.
No.
I guess that would be unprofessional as a podcaster, huh? Yeah.
No. Probably wouldn't be a very good show. But that's good. So you guys went to Dave and Buster's. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Randy McCammett down.
You're just knocking over Randy McCammett. And,
Damn it, Randy. I'm sorry.
yeah, you're
he's a big kazoo fan. He's always
Fumbling
looking for
risking
He's our
some kazoos.
Yeah.
something to blow.
There you
He
go.
wants to. What are the size of those children?
Put some strike force in front of him. There we go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, how about the rest of the week? How's your guys' weeks go?
Like shit. That's how.
Mine was great. I went swimming in Jeremy's basement.
This is the third time this summer I have gotten a basement full of water. I have a finished basement. It's been sump pump issues all 3 times, and all 3 times it's been different issues with the sump pump.
I'd like to point out that this is not a rerun. This is a new episode.
This is a new episode.
Yeah.
This did not destroy the basement like it did the first time.
No, that's
this was
at least
salvageable. We caught it early enough. We had the plumber come in and put in a massive, this commercial industrial tank of a fucking sump pump now. And we're having a backup system. And we got this fucking cool alarm that if water comes up over the top of the pit, it senses it and just screams. It's
that's
so
good.
obnoxious.
So don't pee in the sump pump anymore.
Why not? You think that's what's doing it?
He
You
could
think
fill it up if he tried.
you think
Oh, I could.
I'm clogging the sump pump?
Well,
That's a hard motherfucker right there.
But how was your week over there, Derek?
I did a lot of drinking.
No kidding.
Yeah, a whole lot of drink. We went and saw the new Joker movie.
How was that?
I really liked it. I don't think Jeremy cared for it because Jeremy doesn't like cinema. But
It was just so. I mean, there was nothing great about it.
there's nothing great. Did you not see the midget scene?
I saw both of them.
That was phenomenal.
Yes, but I had already lost my erection at that point.
I'm not a big superhero or villain movie guy.
Well,
so-
and that was my problem with this, is that there wasn't really anything comic bookish about it. It was just if you take the clown part out of it, he's just a fucking lunatic.
No, okay, fair enough. But then you said what? A lot of beer and Joker movie.
And we went to see the Joker movie, and then Sunday I sat and watched football and baseball all day.
Yeah, and we'll get to get into that.
Oh, are we going to get into sports this time?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we goddamn.
This show just so happens to be a sports show where we like to take jokes about sports a little bit too far and jokes also that are not about sports. So if this is your first time listening and bad language makes you squeamish, you're in the wrong spot.
Oh, can I say something too? Just some going over my week. Something I would like to establish. I know you don't want to get political, but I want to propose this to any government official. Can we make it illegal, like an arrestable offense? Anybody who works in the food service industry, if you label the iced tea as unsweetened and somebody puts sweet tea in that motherfucker, that person should be arrested, killed, and maybe even like forced to give you a blowjob after they're dead.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
I think it should be mandatory that they shouldn't even label it, and they should just have a picture of iced tea on the tea machine and a picture of Ice Cube on the ice machine.
Perfect.
Yeah, but if they put iced tea on there, people will be like, "Is that lemonade?"
Yeah, right. But anyways, welcome to the show. We've got a lot going on, guys. We've got
Yeah, no shit. Did you hear about my basement?
Yeah, no kidding. We actually have the MLB playoffs getting ready to get done with the first round of the postseason. We had the Yankees sweep the Twins.
We knew that was going to happen.
I wasn't expecting a sweep.
I wasn't expecting a sweep. I was expecting the Yankees to win.
I was expecting the Yankees
Christ.
and the Astros to sweep, and I was incorrect on the Astros point. But
Actually, the Astros are currently playing right now, and they are actually losing to the Rays. So that could possibly be a 5-game series, and that's a lot of people's World Series favorite. So
was mine.
That's mine too. But the other thing is the Dodgers. The Dodgers have to go home to L.A. and play the Nationals for a Game 5 as well. So, and those are two of the favorites for the World Series.
And they're going against Strasburg.
Yeah.
And they're putting who on the mound?
Bueller.
Yeah, I mean,
Bueller.
He's their number 3.
Yeah.
Bueller, anyone?
Hopefully he doesn't get
Bueller.
Call in sick or anything like that.
I don't know why they didn't start. I know Scherzer came in relief in Game 2 and threw about 13 pitches in their Game 2 win. But I don't know why they didn't put Scherzer in Game 3. It gives you a chance with a 2-1. It essentially should give you a 2-1 lead, and then you've got Game 4 at home to trot out Sanchez, and then Game 5 to bring in Strasburg. I just think they should have gone ahead and started Scherzer Game 3.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be available for Game 5 if need be.
Middle relief maybe.
Yeah,
their pen is fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
It's the worst pen in baseball. I thought ours was bad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Scherzer's one of those guys, the pressure would not get to him if you bring him in relief.
No.
You could bring him in to close, and, I mean, he could put in that final 3 innings for you if you need
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Like Bumgarner did for the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got 2 different colored eyes.
Yeah.
He sure does.
Yeah, he sure does.
So he's
He's like a husky.
A husky, yeah.
Yep.
He's
There you
got that
go.
endurance. Loves to pull sleds. We all know that about him.
I'm husky. That's my pants size.
And also another Game 5. St. Louis goes to Atlanta.
Shouldn't even be Game 5. St. Louis should already lost.
Yes, they should, but this is kind of the MO for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Missouri. I see what you did there.
That's a show me state, they call it.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they're deciding to show up in the later parts of games. I mean,
The bullpen's not.
I'm still.
Martinez sucks.
Yeah. That first, what was it? Was that Game 1 that they won? Yes, Game 1 they brought him in. It was 7-2, and he gives up.
3.
I think it was more than that.
3, and he had a base runner on, I think.
Was it? I thought the final score to that game was 6-7. I am not excited for having him come in
this
the
series
bullpen.
could be over.
Yes, it
had
could.
the bullpen just done their job on Sunday.
They sure could have. They should have won that game, and
probably shouldn't have
coughed
won
it up.
yesterday.
yeah, you're probably right.
Both of those games probably should have gone the other way, but
Probably.
yeah. I mean, this is the best thing about postseason baseball is that the regular season is what got you here. But after that, it does not matter.
Right.
Both Braves and Cardinals came into this series 0-0.
Right.
And anything can happen. And I really do think that this is why the A's never make it beyond the divisional series anymore with this Moneyball shit.
Sure.
It works out long term over that long marathon season where teams stay steady. But in your postseason, this is where the stars shine.
Yeah.
This is where the best come out, the cream rises to the top. 5 or 7 game series or a 1 game playoff.
Yeah.
You need the best guys to come out.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not always. I mean, you always have you always have those guys that just show up out of fucking nowhere. I mean, Evaldi last year from Boston out of the pen.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who the fuck he was. Zobrist, he's not a superstar type player. He's a decent player, but he came through for the Royals in 15 and 16 for the Cubs.
Yeah.
2 straight World Series MVPs. I mean, you got guys, look at A-Rod in the playoffs. A-Rod was garbage in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You get guys that are the best players that choke or that can't produce in the playoffs. So
yeah. And Molina is the saving grace for the Cardinals so far in the series.
Well, and what he did yesterday was not too much.
No.
That was the thing. He didn't come up there thinking he needed to hit a home run.
Right.
He knew he needed to get it in the air.
Yep. Get it out of the infield. Yeah, that's all he did. That's right. But he also tied the game earlier.
Sure.
Big, huge hit. I think it was in like the 7th or 8th. And then he goes up into the 10th and hits a sac fly that wins the game.
He's been around long enough. You're not going to flap that guy. He's not going to get rattled.
Yeah. I'm so happy he's on my favorite
He didn't even have any balls left.
I think he does.
Has he got one?
I think he's got one.
I don't know. I loved it. He just takes shot after he got shot. He got one in the nuts the other day again. It's fucking great.
He learned how to do that Japanese thing where he sucks him up in his body cavity.
That's what he needs to do.
Uh-huh.
So let's see. Tomorrow, the pitchers for the Braves and Cardinals games is Jack Flaherty, who's the hottest. In my opinion, he's the hottest pitcher in baseball from the later half of the season.
I don't know. I think if Kate Upton starts pitching, she'd probably be the hottest pitcher in baseball.
You're probably right. And then the Braves have Mike.
I don't know what color are her eyes. She got 2 different colored ones.
I don't care. She has eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had eyes.
I didn't either.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike will be the starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves.
Mike Fulnovic.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yep.
Well, how appropriate is that he's playing for the Braves? Obviously Native American.
Yeah, exactly.
Fulnovic.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. And he actually had a really good game the other night against the Cardinals. I think he held him hitless for 8 innings. So,
cool. Go Braves.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Chop on.
No. No. I said the Braves are going to beat the Cardinals in 5. I still think that, but it would be really cool to go to Division Series again.
You're in the Division Series.
I'm sorry, in the fuck.
Big baseball fan, huh, Scotty?
Shut the fuck up.
Be sure nice to go to the Super Series.
I want him to go to the World Series.
That would be terrific.
Yeah.
Can we win this national championship game?
Whatever. All right.
We were 2 points ahead going into the 8th.
Let's go score some points.
Take me out to the ballpark.
Okay. You're an asshole. Okay, but obviously we're all big, huge football fans. How did everybody do fantasy-wise this week?
I won.
You did win.
2 in a row.
That's 2 in a row, buddy.
Look out. 1 more and I'm at 500.
There you go.
I have not checked, but I was not on pace to win, and I think I was done. My players were done, and he was 10 points ahead.
Did you have Baker Mayfield? You might have won.
Oh. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't think you won this week, Jeremy.
I don't think I did either.
No, you sure didn't.
I was on pace to.
Almost. Not really. I had one hell of a week. I'm so stoked. My team doesn't look as bad as it did a couple weeks ago, so I'm pretty pumped. But then we had a lot of really good football games to talk about. But before we get to that, we had some coaching change over the weekend after the Redskins game.
Don't want to talk about Dodgers Nationals? That's still coming up.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's game 5.
That is game 5.
That's a big one. Not just the fucking Cardinals are playing.
I thought that was all we cared about.
No,
we talked about Strasburg's pitcher.
Yeah, we did talk about the Nationals.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bueller. Never
Pay
mind.
some fucking attention.
Son of a
God
bitch.
damn it. You are just slacking tonight.
I had some Jameson earlier.
I'm sure you
and
did.
fucking scored some kazoos.
Yeah.
It would just really make my week if the Dodgers lost.
It would. I would be ecstatic.
I want the Nationals to win the World Series because I want them to win after the year after Harper leaves. That would be fucking glorious.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That is like the ultimate fuck you to that guy. Yeah. And that would make me so happy.
I agree. I think it would be absolutely hysterical. I just don't think it's going to happen.
If they beat the Dodgers, they got a shot.
They sure do.
Because I think they can beat both the Braves and the Cardinals. Because technically they were the hottest team in baseball probably one of the hottest teams in baseball this last month.
And I think talent-wise, you're probably looking at a pretty even match with either one of them.
They were 12 games under 500 at one point in the season.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning over 90 games.
I'm with you. If anybody had to beat the Cardinals, I would definitely take the Nationals. I think that would be so fucking funny. The only problem is I think that it's competitive in the National League all the way up until the World Series. I don't think it's that way when they get to the World Series, though. I think it's either going to be the Yankees or the Astros is the teams I think is going to win the World Series.
I think they'd match up better against the Astros because I can't imagine that Yankees lineup against that Nats bullpen.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you're seeing double-digit scores almost the entire fucking World Series.
Especially about and we've talked a little bit about this, especially with juiced balls. You know, they've definitely modified them. It's almost just. They just haven't come out and say it, but they've messed with the baseball.
Oh, I thought you were talking about shooting steroids into the scrot.
No. No.
That's what I thought you were talking about, juice balls. I'm like, son of a bitch.
No,
sometimes I'll put little slices of grapefruit down my pants before I go jogging. That gives me juice balls.
I like to rub Strike Force on mine.
Absolutely. That's more of an artificial juice, but zero sugars.
Yeah,
zero sugars.
Zero sugars. And it makes your cum taste like Nick Foles.
But it makes your pineapple juice taste like cum.
Yeah.
And
man. Well, let's kick it off with some NFL recaps here.
What about the coaching changes?
Oh yeah.
Jay Gruden before I incorrectly interrupted.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the game we're going to start off because of that. The Patriots go into Washington, D.C. and kick the shit out of the Redskins.
That was my lock of the week, too. I screwed that up. I thought the Redskins. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, you picked the bye week over Miami.
I did.
Stupid.
You took the Redskins.
What was it where it's like, God, I just lose all the time. Fucking God. Mr. T. He's like, you bet against Rocky. And
you bet
Rocky,
on Clubber Lang in fight 2. He beat him so easy in the first one. 2-round knockout.
But I am owed a handy because somebody lost a bet. Jeremy?
What did
You owe me a handy. Because Derek was trying to say that you have to start Haskins this game. And I said last show, it's either going to be Case Keenum or Colt McCoy.
Right, and I was on your side.
You were on my side. Yeah, but you ended up losing the bet whenever we did the show at Vorshay's Lounge on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, once again, I have Mother Nature and the fucking sump pump to blame for my tired arms.
That's right. And I would like it with the left hand.
I already jerked off a few guys at Dave & Buster's for token money. I needed that fucking kazoo.
Yeah, that's true.
It was Dave, and he busted.
He sure did.
Sure did. So at the end of the game, you get Jay Gruden into a press conference, and he says, "You know what? If the key to my office still works tomorrow morning, then we're just gonna go back to work." That obviously didn't happen. So Jay Gruden is now jobless.
Yeah. I don't think anybody was surprised by this.
Hell no.
I don't know. The problem that they're going to run into is who wants that job.
I'm sure they'll find somebody.
Well, yeah, but Dan Snyder is well known as the most vile little son of a bitch of an owner in the NFL. He insists on inserting his opinion into how the team is run, how the plays are called, and then blaming it on the coach.
Sounds a lot like Jerry Jones minus blaming the coach.
Yeah, Jerry Jones keeps coaches on
too long,
way longer than he ever should. Dan Snyder just gets off on firing people, and everybody that I've ever heard interviewed or anybody that's ever worked for him, not just coaches but staff and everything, says he is just a nasty little son of a bitch.
That sucks.
That he treats people like absolute shit. He has got a Napoleonic complex for days.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, there were rumors going around, or at least there were comments made by Jay Gruden about how he didn't want to take Haskins for the draft for his quarterback. And I think my opinion of Haskins, I think it's too quick. I think that they should have put him in that game when Case Keenum was just getting picked off left and right. But I agree with the choice to start McCoy.
I think Haskins is starting next week now.
Definitely start him this week. Absolutely. And I think that's just because this is going to be an uplifting game for him because he's going against probably the worst NFL football team.
It's the best chance he has to win all year.
Yeah. And that kind of sucks because now you got Jay Gruden who gets fired and right before he has an opportunity to win a game with the players that he has.
I had heard that Haskins is having trouble with the verbiage.
The verbiage
of the plays.
Oh,
so when he played at Ohio State, each play was just a signal. Mm-hmm. So it was like a 1, a 4, or rub your nuts or whatever. But now like the actual play calling to associate the play with a name, I think that's where I've heard that's he's having trouble with that.
Well, NFL playbooks are just so complex.
Yeah, they are.
They're ridiculous, and the fact that they're expected to have those memorized by the end of training camp, basically.
Well, Bill Belichick memorizes every other team's playbook.
Sure he does.
And he didn't even play the game.
Yeah. But the Thursday game was, that was a good one for me and Derek to do the show at Vorshay's.
That was a great game.
That was an excellent game. L.A. ends up falling to Seattle 29-30. The game was in Seattle, man, it was a fun one to watch. Russell Wilson is a stud.
I think right now he might be leading for MVP.
I've been hearing people say that. I don't think it'll pan out at the end of the year because ultimately what won him the game was the impossible. Zerline
misses a
game-winning field goal from what, 45 yards or
I don't know.
Was it 40 yards maybe?
I'd have
at that point. Steve, the owner of Vorshay's, had gotten me so shit-faced that I don't really remember how long that field goal was or how I got home.
All I know is I could have made it.
I could do that in my sleep, bitch.
That's isn't that the same distance that Cody Parkey missed his field goal on?
43
yards.
Parkey,
Yep. So.
Who has a job now, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cairo Santos from the Titans. Cairo Santos from the Titans missed 4 field goals on Sunday, and so they cut him in favor of a guy that missed 4 field goals last year and signed Cody Parkey. Yeah. So you get fired, you just got to take a year off, and then you get a new chance. And that game last year, Cody Parkey hit the upright 4 times that game.
That's awesome.
2 extra points, 2 field goals.
Yep.
Yeah. Cairo Santos had a good long run for a Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last player taken in the draft. God, when was that? 2000?
I don't even know.
So with the Chiefs, he kicked for the Chiefs, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that. But yeah, Russell Wilson, 17 for 23, 268 yards and 4 fucking touchdowns. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff, I'm not as impressed with him this year. I'm just not.
You don't get back to once you lose the Super Bowl.
Right. You called it. You called it at Vorshay's. You basically said that exact same phrase, and you're exactly right.
Well, and it just seemed like going into the postseason last year, I know that they kind of limped into the Super Bowl, but it just seemed like the Rams did not have the same fire that they came out at the start of last season with. And I don't know that Goff. I think Goff was just riding a high wave at that point, and he's kind of showing that maybe he's not as great as what everybody thought he was.
And what shocks me though is that he also has 3 of the best wide receivers in the league: Brandon Cooks, Robbie Woods, and Cooper Kupp. Jesus, it's crazy.
He's got the physical tools. It's a mental.
You think so?
Thing. Yeah, I really do think so.
The most boring game of the week, you had Buffalo Bills going to Tennessee and beat the Titans 14-7. And like you said, Derek, they got Cody Parkey coming in playing for them next week. So
good luck, Titans. Tighten up, fellas.
That wasn't. That's kind of boring.
I feel like I should buy every Titans fan a beer.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Bills might be a wild card team this year.
I think so too. I'm really pulling for them.
They're about 4-1 now, right?
4-1.
Yeah. No joke.
And so far, my prediction for the Titans record is still holding. They're 2-3.
How did they ever win two?
I don't know. God, Mariota's so inconsistent. Jesus. Next game, Ravens go into Pittsburgh 26 and beat them 26-23.
Overtime.
Yeah.
I called that. I was saying that at Vorshey.
It was my lock of the week.
Was it?
It was.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. I was too nervous. I didn't want to pick that game because of it's a division rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at Pittsburgh. Yes, I know that, they've got, at the time they had Mason Rudolph, and yeah, Jackson, obviously Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback.
Mason Rudolph got knocked the fuck out.
That he did during that game. He got fucking clocked. And it was really scary. Did you actually see the video of it?
I did.
Holy shit.
He was apparently, as he was going down, saw something that he wanted to point at, and he kept his hand pointed at whatever it was, and but they said he was out cold.
Oh yeah,
before he hit the ground.
He looked dead.
Yeah.
On the field, and it was scary as shit.
It was, and it wasn't a dirty hit. It was a guy going hard.
Yep.
And just kind of odd coincidences that he came up to make the hit as Rudolph was kind of leaning back.
Yeah, and you got a lot of people that are complaining about that though, because it kind of was helmet to helmet contact.
It was, but it does not. They said it did not meet the requirements for targeting. It was not. He did not target the helmet, and that's where the penalty comes in.
Right.
There can be incidental helmet to helmet. You just can't target. You can't lead with the helmet.
Right.
He had already put his shoulder into him, and then the helmet
hit him. Yeah. But it's going to be kind of interesting. I mean, he's probably going to be out next week or this week now, but I don't even know who they have behind him. Who is behind that guy that's going to turn that team around?
I would imagine there's going to be some free agent shopping and some trades trying to get made just to get somebody with some. They might even petition the Redskins to get Colt McCoy or somebody.
Maybe. I mean, that's a very
at least
real
he's taken
possibility.
some NFL snaps.
Yeah.
But the game was won in overtime. The Ravens had their chance. They had to punt it. Steelers had their chance, and they fumbled it.
Yep.
On a punched-out fumble. And this is a big year for fumbles being caused. Peanut Tillman's name has been brought up in games more this year than when he played.
That's my guy.
Peanut
punch.
He perfected that punch, and I think it's something that they're teaching players now.
Bears got a fumble on the 1 yard line from a guy doing the peanut punch.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, they brought it up 3 or 4 times in the Chiefs-Lions game, and then it happened again in the game on Sunday night. But they always bring up Peanut Tillman's name. But I think it's something that they're teaching players now because it's productive. Yeah. Number one, it works. 2, they can still make the tackle even if they can't punch the ball out. But it gives them something to go after so that they avoid that vicious hit on the defenseless receiver.
Okay.
They're still hitting, but just not, brutally with their whole body.
Sure.
And it's avoiding penalties, and they're finding it's productive with the turnovers.
That's good.
That's awesome. They're going to have Devlin Hodges for the Steelers.
Oh my God.
He came in last week after Rudolph went down and was 7 of 9 for 68 yards. So,
because he's all they had.
Who the fuck knew who Gardner Minshew was until Foles went down?
Well, yeah. Okay.
And I'm guessing if Minshew would have come in and ate his dick, the fucking Jaguars would have been shopping around for somebody else.
You're probably right.
He came in and did a pretty good. I don't know if 7 of 9 is good enough to count your whole team on, but they've got 1 win now this year.
One game, so they got to go. They're going to probably trot him out here next week and see what happens.
But then they need somebody to back him up.
Yeah. Well, I am available. Steelers.
Okay.
Pretty good at handoffs.
Yeah.
They're not having good luck, Steelers quarterbacks this year.
No. Moving on, let's go to the Eagles, man. The Eagles beat the Jets. Big
fucking
surprise.
hate the Eagles, man.
Why?
Nah, just the dude abides.
Oh, okay. Carson Wentz, 17 for 29, 189 yards and 1 touchdown. Jordan Howard has another decent game. They're splitting with Miles Sanders. Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, they're sharing the ball. So it's kind of running back, whatever you want to call it, by committee.
Two
Sam
guys, one ball. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah.
Sure. They get it. They both holding the tea and they're just licking it out the top, swishing it around their mouth. But God, that noise. I've seen that video one time and it made me about puke.
Two guys, one ball. I've never seen that.
You just brought it all back.
Jerry's over here just getting nauseous.
Anyway. Go on.
Oh, that's so awful. I can't stop. So yeah, Jets get beat. They are now an 0-14.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Back next week?
That's kind of the rumor.
Gonna get retested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna be evaluated. God, Adam Gase is such a fucking. I don't like him one bit. But wasn't that surprising a game? Moving on. There's your Bears game there, Derek. Chicago and Oakland in London.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think there, buddy?
I thought the Bears fucked up by flying out so late.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they flew out Friday, or they got there Friday. The Oakland got there Tuesday.
Oh wow.
So that already had worried me because I've made a flight like that, and especially me, those guys are twice my size, and I had trouble sleeping on the plane.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. And I'm sure it's a different plane that they're in, but still, they're not flying British Airways.
Right.
But yeah, you're up for 30 some odd hours, jet lag, it's with you for a couple of days. The defense looked flat.
Mm-hmm.
They could not stop Josh Jacobs at all. Mm-hmm. They ran it down their fucking throat, and we had arguably the best run defense in the league up until that point. Daniel looked good at times, still made some throws that Trubisky can't, but he made those 2 interceptions. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I mean, they were bad.
Trubisky was talking to him in his headphones.
Maybe so.
That's what it was.
Hey, you got three black shirts over there. Throw it there.
I do not understand why they do these London games. Usually it's shit teams who are not going to factor into the mix at the end, so at least they have a chance to have a nationally televised game because it's usually first thing in the morning. This was still at noon our time.
Yeah.
And so it's not even like they got exclusive national coverage out of it. But, I've said this before on here. In the NFL, these are elite athletes. The difference between the best guys and the worst guys in the NFL is not very much. When you take them out of their routine, their regular routine, and the jet lag, and the just everything's such a weird. I mean, it's tough enough flying like from the East Coast to the West Coast,
right?
Let alone a 10, 12-hour time difference.
Yeah.
I mean, that really throws these guys out of time, and you could see it in Khalil Mack wasn't even a factor.
No, which was crazy.
He's probably the best pass rusher in the league, and
he got
Derek
a fumble.
Carr, you got a fumble on a complete, just botched pitch play.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, Derek Carr had all kinds of time in the pocket.
Yeah,
he would throw.
He had a great game. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but he was 25 of 32 for 229 yards, which against the Bears, it's crazy. And you're right on Josh Jacobs, 26 attempts, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, First 100-yard game of the year for Josh Jacobs, I believe.
He didn't need to throw it. They were running it. And the thing is, the Bears had captured the momentum back at one point. But
they had the lead, 21-17.
I got to hand it to the Raiders and Gruden. They didn't stop playing.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to say is I want to give a shout out to the refs that game.
Why?
There was a play and it was a snap challenge by Gruden, and it was a throw to Allen Robinson on the sideline, and I thought he was clearly out in real time, and the ref called it a completion. Gruden's pissed, throws the challenge flag immediately. Usually you've got somebody upstairs saying,
watching,
hey, throws it immediately, and they fucking go and review the play, and the guy, Robinson was in.
Crazy.
He was diving out of bounds, and so I don't know how the fuck he got that toe down, but he did. And the fact that they were able to fucking catch that and see that in real time was incredible.
Yeah. Next game, we're going to go to New Jersey. Minnesota at New York Giants. They go in there, beat them 28-10.
Yeah. Welcome to the NFL, Jones.
You
finally played your first big league team.
What I tell you was going to happen with Thielen?
Man, he had a game.
I told you he was going to.
You sure did. Yeah, Daniel Jones, 21 for 38, 182 yards. He had a touchdown and an interception. So, I mean, it wasn't, like, awful game. But
No, but he played a real defense for the first time.
yeah, and Kirk Cousins, it was like a whole new person. I mean, I don't know what they did. Obviously, you probably had some bitching by these wide receivers to get him to throw the ball, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't just hand the ball over to Dalvin Cook the entire time. He did have 21 attempts and 132 yards, but Kirk Cousins, 22 for 27, 306 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Normally,
There
I'm
you
not
go,
a
buddy.
big fan of publicly calling out your quarterback like that. That seems like more of a behind-the-scenes locker room type thing. Unprofessional, it seems like. But in this case, it seems to have worked.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious what's going to happen to Stephon Diggs. He was only targeted. He only had 4 targets the entire game. Thielen obviously went off, but I'm kind of concerned with this whole thing. There's rumors about Stephon Diggs, if he's going to end up getting traded or what's going to happen. Because he could be a pretty good asset someplace else.
I don't see him trading him.
I don't either.
Cousins is just not a good enough quarterback to utilize all
Right.
of his weapons. That's
Right.
I really don't think he was brought in to be a backup to RG3 initially, and RG3 just wound up being so bad that they said Cousins gives us the best chance to win, and for some reason from that point on he was thought of as a starter.
Well, I don't know.
I just don't think he's really starting caliber. I think he's a backup.
That's possible. Next game, Tampa Bay goes into New Orleans and gets their ass beat. Well, I mean, it was a closer game, I guess. It was 24-31. I love Teddy Bridgewater.
We know.
I like that guy. He's just a good dude. He was 26 for 34, 314 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception, but he's a good dude. I just like him. Good personality. Good game.
Let me ask you this now.
Good win.
We seem to be running a little ahead of schedule.
Sure.
Breeze comes back and says he wants to play next year.
Uh-huh.
Bridgewater, does he get on as a starter somewhere else, you think?
That's actually a really good question.
I know. I asked it.
I think he could be a target for a lot of teams, especially that are in the situation that they don't like their quarterback that they have.
Sure.
Love him in Chicago,
Yeah,
that'd be a
yes.
good one right there.
but they're not going to give up on Mitch.
Don't say that.
They're not. That's the GM's job. If Trubisky fails, that's Pace's job, because not only did Pace take Trubisky in the first round and trade up to get him ahead of Watson and Mahomes, he also picked Adam Shaheen in the second round, missing out on Schuster, Kamara. You can be happy that they got Cohen that draft in like the 5th, but
Yeah.
you missed twice in the first 2 rounds. You picked Kevin White in the first round your first year.
Yeah.
I mean, you have not hit on a first round pick since maybe Kyle Fuller.
Yeah.
And you would think ownership would see that.
They should.
Yeah. Anyway, Falcons going to Houston, and that was actually kind of a fun game to watch. There's a lot of offense going on. But Houston ends up beating the Falcons for 32-53, and the Atlanta Falcons aren't very good.
And Will Fuller won me my fantasy game.
He sure as shit did. That was probably
40 points I
Yeah.
got out of Will Fuller in a non-PPR league.
ridiculous. He had 14 receptions, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns. What scares me, DeAndre Hopkins, 7 receptions on 88 yards. He only had 8 targets. So that was a Will Fuller game.
Yep. I almost dropped
wow.
him this week too. I was like, he's not doing shit.
Yep. Way to go, buddy. So, anyway, Cardinals at Bengals. Cardinals get a W.
They did.
They go into Cincinnati and actually won that game.
They won 3-1 now?
Yep.
Yeah.
1-3-1. Anybody surprised?
No.
No, I mean, I would have picked the Bengals in this game if,
I would have too.
But I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't. It's no shocker that the Bengals shit the pants.
Yeah.
I mean, they suck.
Yeah, they're not a good football team.
Kyler Murray is still an electrifying player.
Yeah.
And he can take over a game if he needs to,
Sure.
especially against that shit team.
Right. Jaguars go into Carolina and get beat.
Battle of the backups.
Yeah, but I love Christian McCaffrey. I love that guy. He is a stud, man.
I didn't think he was going to be simply because he's a white running back. I was like, nope, this is Toby Gerhardt again. There's no fucking way. And it made me eat crow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not crow. He made me eat dove. That's what he made me eat.
19 attempts, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then receiving. It's 6 receptions of 61 yards and a receiving touchdown. Dude had a game, and I love him being on my fantasy football team. But while we're on this Jacksonville-Carolina game, this was my question that I have. Nick Foles is coming back. It's not going to be until,
next season.
Week 11, I think. Right?
Week 11.
Next season is what I was told.
I think there's a possibility that he comes back and he plays. So you have Gardner Minshew, who's been playing fairly well. I mean, he obviously ended up losing this game, but I think the Carolina Panthers, since getting Kyle Allen as a quarterback, I think they've been a much better team, right? I mean, they're 3-2 in those 2 games. I believe that was Cam Newton starting both of them. And not being able to hit a open
one of them
receiver.
was to Tampa. They lost to Tampa. That was one.
Right.
On Thursday night.
So basically, you got Kyle Allen that's on a hot streak. And then, so what do you do with somebody like Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew's back in the backup role.
Yeah.
I agree.
They've got too much money invested in Nick Foles.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And even, you might get the vibe of what the team wants for the rest of the year.
Sure.
But come next year, if nothing else, Gardner Minshew is a great trade.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of – he's certainly upped his value.
Yeah.
Somebody who needs a starter would probably take him.
No need to even really trade him, though. You're not paying him shit.
Yeah.
Second year of his rookie. Isn't he a rookie this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, second year of his rookie deal.
Right, but if you can trade him and fill some voids, get some real value out of him.
Yeah.
Get some qualified, ready-to-go NFL players, sure.
You can get a first I don't know if you'd get a first or a second for him, though. I don't think you would.
So.
I think you'd get maybe a fourth.
I don't know. I think you may get a second-round pick for him.
I don't think so.
I'm thinking more if you can get like a quality like left tackle.
Yeah.
Or something. Somebody to protect Foles better.
Right.
So that he doesn't break his collarbone again next year.
True.
Yeah, but if you trade the left tackle, then who's going to protect Minshew from the left side? If you give up your starting left tackle for quarterback, that's kind of counterproductive.
That's fucking Minshew's problem, not mine.
And moving on to the Broncos and Chargers. The Broncos are a bad team, but they won.
I cannot believe this.
I cannot believe this either.
I thought the Chargers were going to be much better than what they're showing.
Yeah, just not this game, but the Chargers season.
Yeah,
altogether.
This is my surprise of the year so far. I'm more surprised with the Chargers not being good than I am the Browns not being as good as everybody thought they were going to be.
They even got Melvin Gordon back, and
nothing. And still,
they're just mediocre. I mean, they're falling flat.
Yeah, it's really difficult to watch because I thought this could be Rivers. Yeah, well, I thought this could be Rivers' year to finally break through.
I wonder is time catching up to him a little bit?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, I'm just shocked that the Chargers are not near as good as they were supposed to be. Moving on to the Packers and the Cowboys. What did everybody think of this game?
Well,
I turned it once the Packers were up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think everybody, well, except for Jeremy. I was obviously
watched
for the Cowboys.
Yeah, or most of it. We were talking about how the Cowboys were better than what we thought. No, I don't think they are.
I'm questioning it now.
And, a lot of people, I think, would have predicted that the Packers would beat the Cowboys.
Sure.
I don't think anybody saw them come in and just destroying them the way they did. On the road,
Prescott.
in Dallas, I mean, it was just they made Dallas look stupid. And, yeah, there was some second half catching up. The Cowboys made it closer than what the game was for real. I mean,
Prescott had 0 passing yards on 3rd down.
Yeah,
wow.
I did.
0.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
2
that's
interceptions
crazy.
in the first half.
He had 3 total all game. He had 2 touchdown passes, and he threw for a lot of yards.
That one and that first one that got picked though. That was on Cooper. because that went right through Amari Cooper's hands
Yeah.
and then into the guy from Green Bay. Yeah. So that was on Cooper. They were marching right down the field to score right out of the gate.
But Green Bay's running back,
Aaron Jones.
Jones, yeah, 4 touchdowns in the first half, I think, wasn't it? Or was it for the game?
I think it was for the game. But
fuck him though.
This is kind of a. I'm sitting here saying that the Cowboys are going to be a good team, but they go and they play 2 actual teams and they lose.
Yeah, they beat up on the nobodies.
Right.
I mean, they came out and they looked crisp they played.
But they meet the eye test. That's my whole thing.
The talent is
there. The talent is there.
Yes.
But is Dak Prescott really not that great of a quarterback when he's got an actual defense is going up against?
He should be good enough.
I would think so, but this is where and I hope the Cowboy fans understand. It's yes, you are the most loved and most hated franchise, but this is where people like that are outside of loving that team say that Dak Prescott's not a top 10 quarterback. I really don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, and there's games like this where he goes up against these teams that are actually good, and this happens.
And I don't think Jason Garrett's a very good coach.
I agree, and we've all said that at the end of the season he's not going to be re-signed most likely.
But they should have got rid of him 2-3 years
long time ago.
Yeah,
but Jerry Jones, like he's just said earlier on this episode, was that he holds on to people too long.
Mm-hmm.
But it's things like this. Now, obviously, you got all the memes and shit like that are going and making fun of the Cowboys, and that's such a reaction that you get out of either the really diehard Dallas Cowboy fans or even the ones that just really hate Dallas. But this is where those questions come from, and I'm curious to see. I still think that they're a decent team. I just the Super Bowl aspirations I think are a little bit over the top.
Last week they got beat. This week they just got their asses kicked.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough one to watch.
Not really. I enjoyed it very much.
I was pulling for him. I didn't make him my lock of the week, but I almost did. But no, my lock of the week was even more upsetting. Indianapolis goes into Arrowhead and beats the Chiefs.
I'm going to tell you exactly what the problem is. There's a 225-pound lump of shit taking the snaps. Fucking no good goddamn Patrick Mahomes. We need to get rid of that fucking dead weight. No, he is still amazing.
Yeah.
He was a little gimped up, wasn't quite as mobile. He's down 3 starting linemen now, including his left tackle Eric Fisher, his center, and I believe the right guard.
Yeah.
And that's a tall order for anybody. And there was some passes where he was dropping them right in on guys' hands, and they were just flat dropping the ball. Travis Kelce had 2 very uncharacteristic drops. Let's see. Hartman had a couple of drops. Watkins had a drop. McCoy fumbled.
Yeah.
A stupid fumble. But, on top of that, Frank Reich's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He is a good coach for the Colts and came in there with the right game plan.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs' defense, I have a lot of concerns about this upcoming game against the Texans.
Yeah, I do too.
Because the Chiefs' defense is awful. They are a fucking sieve against the run.
Clark's out too, isn't he? I think Frank Clark's hurt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I know he started the game yesterday.
Well, I
Sunday
think
night.
Sammy Watkins, I think he may didn't he get hurt in the middle of that game?
Watkins is out. Hill may be back next week though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You got Tyreek Hill that most likely will come back. He was practicing last week, but they didn't give him a game time start. And like Sammy Watkins being out, so Tyreek Hill coming back. You still have, like you said, Hardman,
Pringle,
and the
Robinson.
The frustration on Mahomes' face was very visible. It's probably the most negatively emotional that I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Well,
on a football field.
He's hobbling around too. He's had a bad ankle, then he got stepped on by a lineman in that game.
He sure did. And a lot of that has to do that. All the more reason that his line needs to protect him, and being down 3 starters, I don't know how well they can do that.
Yeah.
There was a very critical play where they could have maybe come back and taken the lead when they were down 6. It was a 4th and and 1. It was 4th and 1.
Yeah.
And they ran the ball with Williams. And I don't understand. I understand it's 1 yard, and Williams should be able to get that 1 yard. But how do you take the ball out of the hands of your most reliable guy?
Yeah,
how is that not a pass?
You know who made that stop?
Justin Houston.
Yeah. Former Chief.
Yeah.
That's fucking heartbreaking for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cleveland goes into San Francisco and gets spanked last night on Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that was a really boring game to watch. But if you do not like Baker Mayfield, you had a nice night.
The Niners are rapidly emerging as the team to beat in the NFC.
Oh.
I think they're a very good team, and we all just so overestimated how good the Browns would be.
Everybody did.
And
we've got one guy that listens to the show, Ryan, who was saying that he thought all along they were going to be shit because their schedule last year was so weak.
Oh, yeah.
And so he thought that the year they were going to have this year was going to be bad, and it looks like he was right.
Yeah.
But everybody put so much on. We're in week 5, or just finished week 5,
right?
And that is their 3rd primetime nationally televised game.
Yep.
A Thursday night, a Monday night, and then a Sunday night, and then a Monday night game.
Excuse me.
And they're 2-3 this year now.
2-3 so far. San Francisco's 4-0. But here's what I took from the game. Yeah, we talked about getting the ball to your stars. OBJ again didn't have a very good game. They had him returning a fucking kick. Did you see that?
Fumbled it.
And he fucking fumbled it. I mean, I take my advice. Yes, you want to get the ball to your star players, but that's a little much. I know he's trying to do something, but Jesus
Does
Christ.
he even have experience returning kicks?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of, but I could be wrong.
They used to do that, though. I mean, Steve Smith did that.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last week.
Right.
Steve Smith did it. You got no matter what you had to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. So sometimes that's returning a kick or returning a punt.
I would have just figured out a way to do it differently, I guess. I think you, need to get them involved. The biggest thing that I noticed throughout that entire game, though, was watching Baker Mayfield's pocket collapse so rapidly. He has no help, and I'm not saying he's a dead shot quarterback. I think he obviously has issues himself of targeting, and he's not the most accurate quarterback right now. But the biggest thing that I can see is just how many times he has to get out of the pocket or evade being hit. Mm-hmm. That is a big, huge problem, and that's what wins you games. That's what scores you points, is that offensive line. And as of right now, Cleveland has let some of those guys go from last year. They had one guy retire, which was, I believe, the center, if I remember correctly. And so they just don't have anybody protecting him. I think that the Browns themselves, though, the talent's there. They have options. You can't tell me that OBJ is not a good wide receiver.
Jarvis
Landry's not a good wide receiver. And Njoku's not a good tight end when he comes back.
I'm going to say he's out.
And then
Seals
Nick
Jones
Chubb,
is decent, though.
Seals Jones came from Arizona last season, was a pretty decent spot out there for them. But, I mean, you have all of these tools around you. The only thing that I can't say that they've got is an offensive line. But if they get more time, I mean, either that or Baker Mayfield's not that good of a quarterback.
And San Francisco is much better than anybody anticipated
sure.
being. They've got a very stout defense.
Sure. And Jimmy Garoppolo had a decent game, 20 for 29, 181 and 2 touchdowns. Rushing, I was kind of curious on what was going to happen with this, because that is also going to be one of those running back by association committee. Sorry, not association.
That's 3 guys, 1 ball.
Yeah, 3 guys, 1 ball. So you got Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, and Raheem Mostert that are all getting the ball. I think Tevin Coleman had the most attempts, but Breida had a better game yard-wise. They both had 2 touchdowns, and Mostert had 7. I mean, so it's split fairly evenly.
That's how you keep legs fresh.
That's right. And so, in my opinion, I think they're a very good team coming out of the NFC, but I don't necessarily think they're the ones to beat right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but that was our recap, and we're kind of a little bit ahead of schedule, not too bad. But now we got week 6, so we're already a quarter of the way through the season. There's definitely some surprises and some teams that I'm just really shocked about how shitty they are or how good they are. But we'll see what happens coming in. Week 6 coming up. We are going to do our Vorshay's Lounge show this Thursday. Went really well last week. 6:45 is whenever we started. That way we've got about 35 minutes to go over our previews for the week. For next week, it'll be same thing. I will say this, though. After this next show, we will not do it for 3 straight weeks. They've got some things going on. We've got some things going on as well, so we won't be able to do that. But before we get into that Vorshay's Lounge show, we're going to do our Week 6 Locks of the Week.
The Unfiltered Sportscast Locks of the Week.
So week 2, we're in week 6. Is that where we're at now?
Yes.
Holy shit. God, season's flying by. Week 6, locks of the week. Let's start. Who wants to go first? You want to go first there, Jeremy?
Yeah, I don't remember who I'm going to pick now. God damn it.
Damn
Oh,
you,
yeah,
Jeremy.
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, what do you got?
Like I say, the Niners, I think, are the team to beat in the NFC, so I am going with the Niners over the Rams.
Holy smokes, that's a game in L.A., too.
Okay.
Ho.
I don't think it matters. They're one of them teams you play them anywhere.
Yeah. God, man, I that would shock me. That's a pretty bold pick.
They're undefeated.
I know they are. All right, what do you got
That
there?
means they haven't lost.
Yes, I understand that.
Oh, okay.
What do you got there, Derek?
Well, it's actually it's the third matchup this year that's just that they've played against each other, but I'm going to go with the sump pump over Jeremy's basement. Is what I'm going to go with.
Wins
I
every
think,
time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been kicking the shit out of Jeremy's basement nonstop. I mean, it is bound to put a pool in there one way or another. Come hell or high water, literally. It is going to put a pool, an indoor pool at Jeremy's house. So I'm going to go with the sump pump over Jeremy's basement.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a simple guy. I don't need a lot in life. The list is pretty short, and it does not include your bullshit. All right?
That's pretty good. Well, you kind of need a win this week.
And the fucking sump pump has to fucking win. We need the sump pump to win. The fucking basement can't take it anymore.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm going to take Dallas over the Jets.
Yeah.
I think after that showing by Dallas last week, and the Jets are awful.
Yeah, they are awful.
Granted, you may have Darnold back, but I like Dallas in this game. I think Dallas is going to come out and make a statement. I think Zeke finally has a pretty big game this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Dallas over the Jets.
Yeah, and they've got no defense on the Jets, so I think I think that's probably a pretty good pick. I think I'm going to end up taking the New England Patriots at home against the Giants. I think this is a game. Yeah, well, no, actually, I kind of think this
Giants
is a game.
have a pretty good record against the Patriots.
I was getting ready to say.
No Eli this time, though.
That's okay.
Yeah, he's still on the sideline.
I think this is going to be a little bit better game than a lot of people give credit to this whole ordeal. I think that the Giants could make it a little bit closer than what people think. I really do.
Where's it at?
It is in Foxborough.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I am taking the Patriots over the Giants, but this is also the Thursday night game, too, which tends to be lackluster, except for the last one, right? Last one, there's a lot of points being scored, and it was a closer game. Generally, those Thursday night games, it's on a short week, and they're just not very high-scoring games. I think this could help New York in that particular regard. I really do.
Speaking of Giants Patriots, I can't remember what comedian it was, but he was talking about when the Giants last beat New England in the Super Bowl, and there was a little kid that was with his dad, and his little kid was crying. He's got his Tom Brady jersey on, and he's bawling, crying, and
Good.
His dad is like, man, he says, I'm watching this, and it's like, this will be a great teachable moment for this kid. You know, the dad can say, hey, look, you can't win them all, you know, type thing, but they'll be back next year. And he said the dad looked at the kid and was just like, yeah, that's right, cry. Cry your fucking eyes out, and don't ever forget who did this to you.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the Patriots. So what's our records right now?
Patriots are undefeated.
No, dummy. What's our records for our locks of the week? I'm 3-2.
I'm 4-1.
Jeremy's
However,
4-1.
we just discovered that I have taken the Ravens twice.
Oh, that's okay.
So if you guys would like, we can make me, 3-1-1 or 3-2. I don't care because
sure.
that did break the rules.
Okay.
I'm 1-2-1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. You didn't take
How'd
the
you
Bears.
only get 4 games? There's been 5.
Oh.
I think you're 1-3-1.
1-3-1. You're 1-3-1.
1-3-1.
I'm surprised you didn't take the Bears this week, there, Derek.
I already took them.
Oh,
Week 1.
That's true.
Boy, did they let you down.
They sure did.
And they're on bye this week.
Yeah, I know. They may lose. It's been tough.
Yeah, that really your pick of the bye week over. Your pick almost came true this week. It took some last minute heroics by the bye week.
It sure did.
To come back and tie that game because I thought the Dolphins were going to pull it off.
Yeah, I thought so
totally.
too.
All right, so that's enough for football.
Speaking of, that might be our case for maybe an NFL Pop Warner game coming up this week. Dolphins Redskins. that might be the shittiest NFL game
of the year
all time.
I am so excited to watch that game.
Yeah,
You have I'm dead serious. I cannot wait to watch
there
that
might
game.
be 1 million points scored in that game. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
I don't either. I don't know
What if they
it's gonna
tie?
That would be the best.
Nothing.
Is that Monday night? Is that when that one is?
That game is no, it's a Sunday noon.
It'd be fucking hilarious if it was a Monday night game.
Oh man, I cannot wait to tune into that game.
I want them to tie nothing, and never punt. All turnovers.
Yeah, that would be great. But anyways, moving on. We always do this at the end of every single show. It's gaining in popularity, and we love doing this segment. This one is called The Shitty Situation. Okay, guys, this is The Shitty Situation. This one's kind of getting... What the fuck is Jerry doing?
Getting me hard.
I'm just loving my kazoo, man.
Oh, dear God. Anyways, The Shitty Situation's basically our rendition of Would You Rather. And, so this week's Shitty Situation.
It's Would You Rather with a twist, and that twist is that it doesn't twist.
Yeah, okay. The shitty sitch this week is, especially in the heart of baseball and during the playoffs, would you rather get swept in the playoffs or go all the way to Game 7 and lose? Ooh. Jeremy, you go first, buddy.
Swept.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would. Simply because I get emotionally invested. The worst thing you can ever do is give me hope. K-State once again has done that to me this year. They started off so hot this year, and then they went and beat a good SEC team, and then they had just shit themselves these last 2 weeks, and they are not a good team. Their defense sucks. Their fucking running game that I thought was going to be good sucks. They're one-dimensional. They suck. And, they do that to me almost every year. And, yeah, if you're going to fucking destroy me, get it over with fast.
Okay.
That's the way I am.
Fair enough. All right. Go, Derek.
God, I'd almost rather not even make the playoffs than that happen.
Yeah.
As a Cub fan, I've had both happen.
Yeah.
We lost in Game 7 in 03. And then we got swept in the NLCS in 15 and in 17. Oh, I know 03 hurt the most.
Yeah.
I would say probably swept as well.
Was 03 the Bartman year?
That was the Bartman year.
Yeah.
I cussed my mother out that year because she tried to tell me it was going to be okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was hoping you were telling me it was for a totally unrelated thing.
No. She's like, it'll be okay. It's only Game 6. They got another game tomorrow. And I'm like, you don't fucking understand, do you? So I would probably say swept as well, just because I like Jeremy, get so emotionally invested. And what happens is, especially if it's bad.
Yeah.
Like when we got swept by the Mets, it was fucking bad.
Yeah.
And it was almost fucking comical watching the shit go down. By the time it's like game 4, and you're like, oh, sure, why not bring the fucking third baseman in to pitch in the 6th inning? That's great. That's a great move. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Then it just becomes a drunk fest, and then you don't remember how you got home or who you were with.
Right.
So I would say swept.
Yeah. I think it's the same all the way around. I would much rather get swept than lose Game 7. I remember it very well, getting swept by the Boston Red Sox when the Cardinals made it to the World Series, and just
so great.
The Red Sox were coming off of winning 4 straight games to
being down 3-0.
Being down 3-0, and then coming back winning 4 straight games against the New York Yankees, who were kind of the favorite that year, and then going up against the Cardinals and sweeping them.
Now, see, for me, that would be the worst thing that could possibly happen. To be up 3 games and then get beat the next 4. That would just fucking...
That would be awful.
I might put a gun in my mouth. I mean, I would go out to the fucking car, start sucking on the muffler. That would fucking destroy me.
That's definitely worse. I think that would be the hardest thing to go through.
And the teams I tend to root for...
I think Jeremy gun in his mouth would be pretty easy to deal with, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's the pulling the trigger that sucks.
I'll help.
I wouldn't do that. That's just gun safety, guys. You keep your finger off the trigger.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
kids, try this at home.
They taught us that at Hunter Safety.
No, don't do it.
They taught us that at Hunter Safety. Kids don't listen to this podcast. Parents, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, but kids, if you are listening, mommy keeps the gun in a safe in the closet, usually unlocked, and it is loaded, and it is a toy. So,
but the combination, in case it is locked, is.
Yeah,
her birthday.
But yeah, they taught us that. They taught us that at Hunter Safety. If you're gonna put it in your mouth, finger off the trigger, safety on.
Yeah,
come on,
safety,
folks. Wear a helmet too.
Right,
and goggles
and an orange vest.
But before we wrap up the show, we kind of forgot to talk about one thing. That you actually got to see. I didn't get to see the video of. I just heard about it. But not only is KU getting in trouble for paying players and all that kind of stuff, but they're apparently throwing Snoop Dogg concerts. Is that right?
They have their, I guess, late night at the Fog where the team scrimmages against each other, I think, or something. And
they make a big deal of this every year.
Yeah. And it's late at night, and Snoop came and performed at this one, and they decked him out in Adidas gear.
Of course.
And then they had dancers on poles as a jab at the Georgia Tech thing, I guess. And then they were shooting money at recruits. They had like a little fake money gun, and they were shooting money at recruits.
Wow.
That's a big fuck you to the NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that was the smartest thing to do.
No, I'm sure. I mean, we're talking about the SNOOP DOGG.
Right.
Jizzy.
Mm-hmm.
D-O double Jizzy.
Yeah.
I don't say that. No, I go old school. Fuck that. Jizzy. No, I don't speak that language. Anyways, no, he's kind of one of those brazen, brash, fuck you to the establishment guys anyway.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that they necessarily had this worked out, or if somebody with the student body said something to him about, hey, this is the issues we're facing. Go out there and basically flip the finger to everybody. Not a wise idea.
No.
And Snoop ain't going to have to pay the price for it.
No. In fact, he gets free Adidas gear out of it.
Probably, yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, he probably got paid before he took the stage.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Just like the players.
And
exactly.
Yes. And now he gets to get on his fucking private jet, fly home, and not think twice about it.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to hear about it until a little bit ago. And
you also had California with the ruling that they said that players can make money off their names now.
Well, California knows how to party.
Yeah,
really knows how to.
Because that West Coast party don't stop.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact.
This is gonna be a big thing, and I can't remember if we've even really touched on it, but I can see how, or the way this could go, and I'm kind of scared of what's gonna happen.
The California thing, or the
because if anybody else decides to do it, the NCAA will be gone. eventually. I don't think it's going to happen obviously this year.
The thing is that
they're fighting it, right? The NCAA.
They're still the ruling organization. California can make whatever laws they want. The NCAA does not have to permit them
to be eligible.
It's still a violation of NCAA rules.
Absolutely.
And so, pay them if you want, but you're going to get fucking probation. You're going to get banned.
You won't be able to go to a tournament or anything
National
NCAA
televised
tournament.
shit.
Nationally televised stuff gets messed up. But what I'm saying is that if you've got enough of these states that decide, hey, no, we agree as well, then all of a sudden the NCAA basically becomes null and void and goes away. Mm-hmm. And so that's like I haven't decided on what I want to happen yet. I still think there's a lot of things that are still up in the air, but yeah, all of those California teams that decide to pay their players, they will not be eligible for anything NCAA tournament postseason.
Well, and
I don't know if it's necessarily a pay their players thing. I think it's like if the money they make off of their jerseys and their names, then they get money.
And see, that I do believe should be allowed.
I agree with that.
I don't. A number 4 jersey would not have sold for Michigan had it not been worn by Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Just because it didn't have his name on the one that you sold the fan doesn't mean they didn't buy a Chris Webber jersey.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. I'm kind of excited, but this could be kind of a rough road. This could be kind of an NCAA tournament thing that isn't very pretty with some of the teams that aren't going to be allowed to go and play in certain games like this,
Right. And with people, though, you get California out there, a lot of the protesting and shit, people bitching about how high their student loans are now. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen to tuition once they have to start paying these players?
Yep.
Because they're not going to lose out on their bottom line.
Right.
They're going to take it out of the students' pockets.
I'm curious to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but we could be seeing the start of something extremely altering for college sports as we know it.
You'll see free admission to games for students. That'll go away. Mm-hmm. They'll have to start paying for their tickets full price.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be that prime,
student
courtside
section.
Student section.
Right.
It'll be nosebleed.
Yeah, the other thing I can see is a big, huge altercation between male and female sports, and
sure,
because the male sports are probably going to sell more jerseys than the female sports. It's just a mess.
And it's that student body environment that makes college basketball so great.
Yeah,
that's what I love about college arenas and stuff. That's what makes it. NBA arenas just feel so industrial.
Yeah,
there's a warmth and just something intimate about a college basketball arena.
I agree.
And that'll go away.
Right. But anyways, that's really all I have. Anybody else have anything else they wanted to add?
No.
Well, this Thursday, we will be live again at Vorshay's Lounge. Do come out and see us. And if you can't come out and see us, we will be on Facebook Live answering any questions. We had quite a few questions last week, and I thought that was really cool. We even got some help from some of our listeners. Me and Derek both blanked on Miles Sanders, and we got some help for that. So thank you, Ben, for doing that.
I'm hoping to be there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Derek's not right with his prediction. But I'm not going to commit to anything because I know hordes of people showed up to see me last time.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking thousands of people. They had to turn them away from Vorshay's, and then I don't show, and I got not really hate mail. Not anymore, hate mail than normal.
Yeah.
I don't read my fan mail, but I get a lot. I got a guy that comes right to the house, delivers my fucking letters right to me. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's nice. That's the kind of life I'm living.
I kind of want to just show up to Jeremy's house with just like some goggles, some flippers, and like a snorkel and an inner tube around my waist. Like, let's go to the basement.
Nice. That would be it'd be a fun time.
Just randomly show up like that.
It's like a kiddie water park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
splash pad. It's a splash pad.
Splash pad?
That's what he's got in his basement.
That's what gets
That's the new nickname for Jeremy's basement. Down the splash pad.
That's going to get me so much puss.
But yeah, do come check us out. That is at 6:45 this Thursday. It is at 417 East Douglas. Is that right there, Derek? Come and say hi to us. I mean, we hung out there for a while last week, and so
I hung out there too long last week.
Derek sure did. But
what I'm going to guess, I didn't really get to look in because I was busy sucking up water. But
by water he means cock.
Yeah.
Sound like Ken Kniff.
Yeah. But I'm going to guess the most popular question is, why is Scotty there?
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Sure.
But yeah, do come check us out again, 6:45 this Thursday for the game that I have as my lock of the week as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely rooting for the Giants.
Yeah. Giants at Foxborough against New England. We'll see what happens.
I think we'd all probably like to see the Giants win, even if it costs you your lock of the week.
Totally would. Yep. Yeah. That's definitely true. But it's getting a little bit late. I'm getting a little bit tired, and we always like to give a shout out to our sponsor for this show, which is StrikeForceEnergy.com.
You should take one of them. Wake the fuck up.
I know. I probably should. It's an excellent product. It is an energy drink. Basically comes in little packets that you can add to any beverage. They have no sugars, no calories, and just the same amount of caffeine as a regular cup of coffee. You can check them out at StrikeForceEnergy.com and use the promo code NOMORECANS to get 20% off of your order. Comes in 4 flavors: lemon, orange, grape, and original, which we call Nick Foles. And all of them are delicious.
Mm-hmm. It tastes like collarbone.
It tastes like collarbone? Mm-hmm. Nice. Again, check them out, StrikeForceEnergy.com. Well, that's all I've got. I don't have anything else. As long as you guys don't have anything else, do us a favor. You guys are our advertisement. Anybody that you can tell that you think would be interested in the show, please do us a favor. Let them know about it. Tell your friends. And if you don't like us, though,
we hope you get waterboarded with horse cum.
Jesus Christ. If you don't like us,
tell your enemies.
Until next time, guys.
Take that filter off and make it dirty.
We'll see you. Take care.
Horse cum's no joke.